Have you ever felt unable to manifest your desires no matter how hard you try? Have you ever felt trapped by your past, held back by memories, conversations, or moments you wish you could erase or do over? What if I told you there was a way to rewrite those moments, to break free from their influence, and to create a future that feels completely in your control? This incredible Neville Goddard technique that I'm going to share with you today has the power to do exactly that. It's simple, it's profound, and it works. Stick around because this one technique will completely change the way you see yourself, your past, other people, and your possibilities. I'm going to give you 3 very different ways to use this technique. Each way is unique and useful in different situations. So no matter the situation you're in, you will know exactly what to do to turn things around fast and get the results you want. Let's start with the first way to use this transformative technique. Think about the memory that's been haunting you. Maybe it's a time you felt rejected, embarrassed, or deeply hurt. Neville Goddard says that these experiences don't just stay in the past, they move into the future and create it. They shape how we think, how we feel, and how we act today. And more than that, they shape how other people treat us, what kinds of situations we're faced with, what manifests in our 3D reality. There is a lot of talk in the law of assumption community about limiting beliefs, but what are limiting beliefs really? A limiting belief is a thought that you have over and over and over again until it becomes automatic, until you decide that this is how the world works. Imagine you were stood up on a date. Maybe you were young, maybe it was even your first date and you were all excited and nervous about it, and then your date just never showed up. And ever since then, you've carried feelings of inadequacy. I'm not good enough. I'm not worth showing up for. And this creates so much stress and insecurity for you. You're afraid it will happen again, and by paying attention to it, it happens again and again. And then you learn about manifesting, and you try to imagine something different, something better for yourself. But this insecurity just won't go away. What if they never show? What if I'm truly not worthy? Why can't I change my self-concept? And all those fears and limiting beliefs, together with the repeated experience of being stood up, were created because of this one experience all those years ago, when your date didn't show up. But what if you could go back and change that? What if your date had shown up back then? Then you would never get convinced that you aren't worthy. You would have never developed the fear that your dates may never show. The stress, the struggle, the need to repeat affirmations countless times to shift those limiting beliefs, they would all be gone. And here's the good news. You can actually rewrite those negative experiences to free yourself from their emotional grip and from all the negative things that keep manifesting over and over and over in your life because of them. Here's what you need to do. Replay that memory in your mind, but this time I want you to imagine the person showing up on time and having an amazing evening with you, or afternoon, or whatever time of the day it was. I want you to feel the emotions of happiness, connection, and confidence as though they're happening right now. Replay this version of events in your mind over and over until you start becoming convinced that this is what truly happened back then, until the original painful memory fades to nothing. Now, this may take 5 or 10 minutes, or you may need to repeat it daily for a few days. But if you persist with it, the original memory will fade and the new memory will be installed. By revising the memory, you're not lying to yourself. You're changing the way it's stored in your subconscious. And because your subconscious shapes your reality, you will begin to see changes in your confidence, in your relationships, and even in the types of people you attract and the kinds of things you manifest in your 3D reality. You can use this for negative memories from decades ago, or you can use it for something that happened 10 minutes ago, an hour ago, last week. It doesn't matter how fresh or how old it is. If it is something that happened in the past and it bothers you, you can use this method to change it. If you know you have specific limiting beliefs that you're struggling with, if no matter how much you affirm the opposite, you haven't been able to get rid of them, then ask yourself, where did this belief start? Was it a specific experience that made you have that thought for the first time that ended up becoming this limiting belief? Was it someone in your life, maybe your parents or a teacher, saying something either about you or about the world that you took as fact? For example, you are a terrible dancer, or you are bad with technology, or you have to work really hard to make money, or without a college degree, you will always be poor. In your mind, go back to that time and change what happened. Instead of them installing a limiting belief in your mind that has kept you stuck or feeling bad all these years, hear them say an empowering belief. Hear them say what you want to be true for you or for the world. You're a great dancer. You're so good with technology. Money comes easily to the people that believe it comes easily. There's countless people out there making millions and they don't even have a college degree. If this resonates with you and you're ready to dive deeper, then make sure to sign up to be notified when coaching reopens in a few weeks so that I can guide you through powerful techniques like this one. And for those looking to manifest love or connection or a specific person, my Manifest Your Specific Person course provides step-by-step guidance to transform your relationships. Check out the links in the description to learn more. Now let's talk about the second way to use revision, instant revision. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone said something hurtful or discouraging? Or maybe it just wasn't the kind of answer you wanted to hear. Maybe it was a boss criticizing your work or a friend doubting your dreams. Now, most of us let those words sink in, and even when you don't realize it, they eat away at us, undermining our faith in ourselves and our ability to manifest what we want in our 3D reality. So let's say your boss told you your work was terrible. In that moment, instead of accepting their words, you can instantly revise them in your mind. While your boss is speaking, you imagine them instead, in your mind, saying something completely different. For example, you imagine them saying, "This report was excellent. You have a real talent for this." You take your focus off of what they are physically saying right now, and you hear these clearly in your mind instead. Remember how we talked about limiting beliefs being just thoughts that you thought over and over until they got accepted as default settings? When you use instant revision to change something as it is happening, you don't allow the negative thought to be installed in your subconscious mind in the first place. At the same time, you're manifesting a version of events that you actually want. By hearing your boss saying something positive instead, you're manifesting a 3D reality where your boss will start saying positive things about you and complimenting you. You can also use instant revision in any situation where you don't like what is happening. For example, in one of his lectures, Neville Goddard shares the story of how he manifested tickets to a sold-out opera production for his brothers. The cashier told him, "I'm sorry, there are no tickets, Raida, it's sold out." But in his mind, right there on the spot, he kept hearing, "Here are your tickets, sir." And this triggered a series of events that got him the tickets within minutes. I recently used instant revision to get a newspaper that was sold out. So I wanted a specific newspaper from the day before. And normally, at the time when I went looking for it, they've already sent any unsold copies back. So I asked if they still had the newspaper I was looking for, and the girl at the store searched, but they didn't have it. She just couldn't find it. So she told me, "I'm sorry, I can't find one. Would you like me to make a call and see if I can order it for you?" But in my mind, I heard her say, "Oh wow, we have it after all. They just put it on the wrong shelf and that's why I couldn't find it. Here's your newspaper." So just as she was about to write down my number so that she could call me if she managed to order it, another customer came in asking for something, and as she was searching for the magazine the guy wanted, suddenly she found a copy of the newspaper I wanted that someone had put on the wrong shelf. And then she turned to me and said exactly what I had imagined her saying in my mind only seconds before. "Oh wow, we do have it after all. They just put it on the wrong shelf and that's why I couldn't find it. Here's your newspaper." The third way to use this amazing Neville Goddard technique is to do nightly revision. Here's how that works. During the day, there may have been less than ideal moments and stuff you wish had gone differently or that you had done differently. Maybe you lost your temper with your child, or had an argument with someone, or with your specific person, with your boss, with a coworker. Or maybe you spilled coffee on your new shirt on the way to work, and that put you in a bad mood all day. No matter what happened, here's what you need to do. Before going to bed at night, start playing your day in your mind, and every time you stumble onto an event you don't like, revise it on the spot. Make an imaginal scene with a version of events you prefer to replace what happened, and play it a few times in your mind before moving on to the next event, until you reach the current moment. And here's the important bit. You're not just limited to negative events. Maybe something positive happened, but you'd like to make it even better, even more positive. Maybe you got a new client today, but you want to revise it, so you got 2 new clients instead, or 3 new clients instead. Maybe you got a bonus at work, but you would have liked it to be bigger, so you can revise it to be bigger than it actually was. Why is this so effective? Because the subconscious is most impressionable right before sleep. By revising your day in this way, you're ensuring that past mistakes don't carry over into the future to create more negative and unwanted events. Instead, you're creating a reality where you consistently show up as your ideal self, as the best version of you, and where you have positive things happen to you consistently and automatically every day. Plus, you don't allow any negative events to create limiting beliefs about what's possible for you. And you nullify the consequences of negative events from the past. Somehow, things will turn out better than you originally thought based on the negative event because you practically erased the negative event. But here's the thing, like any skill, revision takes practice. If you don't use it, it will not work for you. So pick one memory, one conversation, one moment from your day, and use revision on it. And you will start to see shifts in your emotions, in your relationships, in the events that manifest, in the opportunities that show up for you, in your whole life. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comments. What's one experience you'd like to revise today? And if you have some particularly painful or sticky or stubborn memories to revise, then you need to watch the video that's on your screen right now to learn how to make stubborn memories easy to revise. So go watch it right now, and I'll see you in the next video.